Hi everybody, it's Stephanie. Today's video is a review of the audiobook Fail Fast, Fail Often by PhDs Ryan Babineaux and John Krumboltz. I hope I'm pronouncing those names correctly. They do a fantastic job of really motivating the average person, not the type A personality that really gets up and does things all the time anyway. I wrote down a few things. These are a few tips of how to go from not doing anything to accomplishing your goals. Springboard. If you're feeling overwhelmed, they recommend you just do one thing that's going to get the whole thing going. It's a springboard into action. Like if you want to move up in your job or you want to move to another position, instead of being overwhelmed by the whole thing, like thinking about this and thinking about that and overanalyze, you make a jump, you springboard. And their springboard is make an appointment with your boss. Simple as that. Make an appointment with your boss, and then you'll know what to do after that. Put your dream on paper. You know, if you're like me, maybe just write it and give it to them. This isn't in the book. I'm just saying that. Write it down. Give it to your boss if you just can't talk like how I'm doing right now. These are really easy things that you can do. Planning a trip and you're so overwhelmed, buy the plane ticket. Sounds simple, sounds easy, but people just don't do it. Okay, and another example is if you want to clean out your garage. That is a good one, isn't it? The springboard is to call Goodwill. That's right, make an appointment with Goodwill, and that will get you going. You'll at least clear out part of your garage or part of that room. You'll be ready for pickup when Goodwill comes. Another one is promise a friend. You want to accomplish something, make a promise to somebody else, and you'll be held accountable, and then you're most likely to do it. Now here's another tip. It's called do what you do not want to do. The example given is a professor doing really well at work, but he wanted to write a book and he kept putting it off. He went to a third therapist after 4.5 years and no book written, no page written. And the therapist said to him, I guess you'll just have to write the book. The professor was taken aback and he decided, you know, that's true. I'll never resolve these issues. They may not ever get resolved, but I will write the book. 6 months later, he wrote the book and apparently it became this really successful book. He would take a half hour at night. Anytime he could, he wrote. Whereas before, he was too tired, too exhausted, too overwhelmed, too everything. Do not overanalyze or overthink. The example given is a professor in Wisconsin where everything was going really well. He liked his job. He had just bought a house with his wife. Then he got an email from a school, I believe it was Stanford, for a job interview, which he didn't even know how he got it. He didn't overanalyze. He just went because it was a free trip during the winter to warm, sunnier California. And it turned out to be a really good offer. He would get to do the kind of research he wanted to do. Anyways, he took the job, he loved it. It turned out to be exactly what he wanted. Now, import-export. This one I really like. Another country where something is common, you're considered genius or creative when you bring it back to your home country. The example given is an entrepreneur, a businessman who went to, I want to say New Guinea, but somewhere where they have a seed and they make juice out of it and everyone drinks, and he tried it and he just loved it. He brought it back to the US and he built a company around it and he got this company going pretty quickly. 5 years later, $1 billion company. The entrepreneurs, they do things even if they're not ready. They come up with products even when they're not completely thought out, even if they're not really good. Fail fast, fail often is the title of this audiobook, and that says it all. Now, it's not just huge conglomerates that come out with products and then revise it as it goes along. Get your product out there. And he gives an example of an engineer who was really smart and came up with a prototype. After 5 years of perfecting it, other people had come out with products that weren't even as good as his prototype, but they were making money off it. There are going to be problems no matter what. Just expect it and capitalize on that. It's perfect for the average person who's not the type A, who's not the entrepreneur. That's how I feel. Maybe you will too. By the way, if you read this book or this audiobook, heard it, comment below and let us know what you thought or what you think. Also feel free to subscribe and like this video if you feel like it. Let's see, another tip is, the phantom feeling. And phantom feelings aren't real. They may come across as intuition, but they're really feelings that you get when you're trying something new or there's going to be a big change in your life. Probably for the better. It brings up like negative feeling like, oh, it's not going to work out, oh, it's not right. Know the difference between intuition and phantom feeling. Next is resistance is a liar. Remember that resistance will use any means necessary. That's what the authors say to convince you that you do not want to do this thing. Resistance will lie, cajole, harp, it will yell at you, it will scream, it will do all kinds of nasty things. But remember, resistance is a liar. Fail fast, fail often throughout this whole audiobook. You're just going to fail. And the term they use is when you fail a lot, you enjoy a lot. I know, that's like counterintuitive because you always think, well, if I fail, oh, it's so awful, it's so terrible. But move on. And for me personally, this isn't in the book. For me personally, like just the very act of moving on after you've made a mistake or something didn't work out, something like that, or something that would normally be a great disappointment, just moving on is a good feeling. And soon after that, if you've done this, you know something comes along. You really need to be open to it. And that failure was really the stepping stone to your success. So it's all part of the success process. And I hope that I will be doing a video one day where I show my great success from all the failures. There's so many. But remember, fail fast, fail often, and you're more likely to get to your goal even faster. So again, the audiobook is Fail Fast, Fail Often by Ryan Babineaux and John Krumboltz, PhDs, and it is narrated by Andrés, Pabon. I hope I pronounced all those names right. My name is Stephanie. Thanks for watching, and if you want to comment below, please do. And if there's another book or audiobook you'd like me to review, please let me know. Comment, subscribe, like, and all that kind of stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye.